Hi, everybody, and I am so glad that you have made it through the first orientation part of the class and Module 1, and we are ready to start now on Module 2. So in Module 2, we will be taking on a discussion board, and that will consist of a discussion on different communities with which you identify. So you're going to be brainstorming with your peers in this module about potential choices for the profile that we're going to be working on for the entire rest of the class. So there's going to be a lot of different types of assignments to help you build that profile. And this will be our way to get started with that. So you can take this opportunity then to identify and practice some of your writing habits and skills, and do some initial research for that profile. So go ahead and jump on over to Module 2 if you have not familiarized yourself with that already, and get started with the Top Hat assignments. Those Top Hat assignments are definitely required part of the course. And so you get scored on those by the computer by filling out the information for each question. I do not score those. They're automatically populated into the grade book, and all you have to really do is answer those questions in order to get the points. So for our Module 2, you'll have the opportunity to take a look at what our profile is really going to be all about. So if you click on that link, Module 2 Profile Project, Introduction and Description, that's going to give you an overview of the entire process and a description of the project. And like I said, we're going to be working on this in a variety of ways, all terms. So you're going to get lots of feedback from myself, your peers, and our writing mentor, who's fabulous. So I just hope you will sign up for some sessions and workshops and really take advantage of all the resources available to you. So our project, you may be wondering a little bit about it, and it's going to be more of a narrative. It's going to tell a story. So while there will be some research to highlight in there, you can get creative with your sensory details, with putting in quotations, dialogue, things that you've observed. You'll be able to do some interviews, but think of it more in terms of if you've ever written a descriptive paper or a narrative paper in the past, and you've used metaphor and simile and worked with the 5 senses in order to create either a personal story or a fiction story, right? So we're going to be working with a lot of those tools. You'll also notice in the profile that it's going to be multimodal. So you're going to be including pictures that you've taken right on site, or taking things off their website, social media, and including those also in the profile. And so we're going to be working on creating an infographic later in the class. And so you'll have a lot of opportunities to really get into the multimodal creative piece. So think of this project as kind of a combination of academic and creative. And, you have some leeway, of course, with your languaging and critical thinking. And we're sort of mixing it all up together. So the first thing that you'll want to do is start to think about some of the communities that you belong to personally. For example, I belong to the LGBTQ community here. I'm very also into, helping volunteer at the local cat shelter. And I'm also into yoga, so I belong to the yoga studio here. So those would be some local businesses, that I would investigate if I were doing a project like this. So it could be a nonprofit or a for-profit organization. Notice I mentioned both. And so just start thinking about some of those things you're interested in. And it can certainly, think about what you want to do for your future career. You could look into those types of businesses also. And we're going to be taking a look specifically at what makes that business unique. So you'll want to think about what their mission is and take a look at the mission and vision statement on their website, their social media pages. What are they talking about? You know, if you're profiling a restaurant, for example, and it's a pizza place, right? What makes this pizza place more unique than a different pizza place? So we're going to try to hone in on that, and I'll get into more of that when we do the feedback. So that is really what we're going to be focusing on here for Module 2, is just going over the profile, getting a sense of it, and beginning to discuss with our peers some of those communities we belong to, and really just start diving deeply into the profile. So go ahead and get started, and I look forward to reading through your discussions and seeing what kinds of communities you belong to.